Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do an energy update for any entrepreneurs. My favorite topic. So we are towards the end of April. It's April 20th when I'm recording this. So I just want to see what we need to know for the rest of the month right now, energetically, if you are an entrepreneur, if you own your own business. So let's just see, what they have to say. So before I just pull anything. So they're saying it's really important that you realign with your mission. And it feels like there's a lot of personal stuff that's coming up a lot right now. And so you might have felt like, you're on this track with your business. You might almost be getting upset with yourself that you feel like you're getting distracted. There might be some of that energy because, you're used to being lasered in on the business and it needs to grow. And there's stuff going on in your personal life, whether that is, obviously a lot around relationships because that's just the overarching energy right now, but also maybe with your health as well. They're showing me the body. So things are coming up in your personal life and there's this piece of you that wants to focus on that and go into it. But then also there's some guilt and stuff around it. And they're saying release the guilt, trust that whatever's coming up in your reality as relevant is meant to, and kind of just lean into that. And you're actually going to notice that the less you focus so aggressively on building the business, the more things flow. And it's actually this learning path to realizing I can put less aggressive energy on it, and the business actually grows more easily and effortlessly because I'm not hyper focusing on it and worrying on it, which is actually creating resistance and blocks. And so you're going to start to just naturally learn that it can continue to grow, and it's actually going to be big picture helping you to learn how to work less and actually make more money. I would highly recommend checking out my Business Energetics Masterclass if you haven't already checked that out. I think every entrepreneur needs to understand those concepts. I'll put the link in the description below, but there's stuff coming up in your personal life that really needs your attention, and they're really trying to get you to understand that these aren't all separate parts of your life. It's all connected. And what's being shown to you right now are the fears, are the wounds, are the things within you that really need to be looked at, that need to be healed, cleared, because that's also affecting your business. And so what you might not be realizing is where you're feeling blocked or stuck within your business, it's really the same, they're saying energetic holes that are coming up in your personal life, but you're able to see them more visibly when they're coming up in your personal life. Sorry, they're being kind of aggressive. I sometimes battle with how blunt. I think I just have to go for it. But it's when okay. It's fine. They're basically saying when it's in your personal life, it's staring you straight in the face of this is where you're in your own damn way. In the business, you can blame other people or you can blame external factors. You can do that. It's this isn't working because Facebook ads. This isn't working because nobody's seeing my Instagram post. Or this employee messed this up, or why are they not communicating here? It's so much easier for you to blame things on so many other factors because there's so many moving pieces. When it's coming up in your personal life, it's staring you in your face of I'm in my own way and I can't blame this on somebody else. And you're also realizing where hyper focusing on the business maybe has led to some deficiencies over here. And just how they're connected, and just starting to notice how are these both connected. But if things are coming up in your personal life, it is time to really focus on that and just trust that you're going to be held over here. And what they're saying is it's really time to realign with your mission and what that means. And for some of you, your business might be part of the mission. For others, the mission might be a little bit different. It's really anchoring into what is my mission here, big picture. Am I fully anchored into mission? And that's also with the business as well of just, they're showing me this shift of perspective around, wow, how have I got so caught up in the numbers and the day-to-day where I kind of lost sight of the actual mission. And maybe it's time to reevaluate how you are collaborating with people, what new offers or products you're creating, what the marketing strategy is, and really the culture. They're bringing up a lot around culture, and that's company culture, that's with employees, that is the culture of the community, and really evaluating that. When you anchor into the mission and the mission of the business itself, and you focus on the mission, everything starts to flow. And with that, is like this recalibration of, let me make sure that everything that has a culture within this, like, is aligned with that mission in itself. And when you are realigning with like your mission as a soul incarnated here on earth, it's going to put things in perspective about like bigger picture, what do you want and how do you want to live and what's the life you want to create. And somewhere along the lines, it felt like I have to choose this or choose that. I have to sacrifice this. It's like you got caught up in illusions, or you got caught up in the day-to-day, you got caught up in the logistics. And it's like, whoa, let's take a step back and like really anchor back into mission. And so you're being pushed. And for many people, it's going to feel like being pushed to surrender, being brought to their knees to realign with the mission. And like, there's a sense of peace and safety when you actually get there of like, this is really why I'm here. And that really gives us some perspective on like the day-to-day where we are entering into things with anxiety that doesn't need to be there, with stress that doesn't need to be there. And the thing is, like, if you're going to do the same task, you can choose to do it from a stressed out state, from an anxious state, or you can choose to do the same task with an energy of fun, of play, of creation, of excitement, like, wow. And when you've really reconnected to your why, it becomes fun again, you know. But for the entrepreneur in itself, the way to actually get clarity with your business, the next steps there is actually going to be through the clarity with your personal life and sorting through your home situation, your living situation, your romantic relationship, your friendships, like your physical health. All of that stuff is actually what's going to lead you to the business clarity. So if you keep hyper focusing over here on the business and trying to sort it out, you're just not going to get anywhere. And you can keep doing that, but like, you're not going to get anywhere. Focus on what's coming up in your personal reality, because that's where the answers are. Okay. So here we have the risk card, disruption, the mystery card, and the owl card, all about deception and wisdom. Okay, so with the risk card, you know, this is about like when you're at a crossroads, and this is kind of what I was talking about in yesterday's energy reading, but the risk is that, like, you're going to have to put yourself out there. Like, there has to be a shift in energy in your personal life. And so you're realizing where things are not fully aligned, where things aren't working anymore. Look at where you're frustrated, where you're bitter, where you're angry, right? You can go to your human design, not self theme. That's a really helpful way to see where am I out of alignment and where am I feeling that emotion specifically. You're going to have to take a risk, you know, and these are coinciding. So like, it feels like there's like risk somewhere in your personal life, and that's going to be relative. You know, what feels like risk to me will not feel like risk to you. And just tuning into that word for yourself, is it can feel risky to speak your truth, right? It can feel risky to release a relationship. It can feel risky to go deeper into a relationship, right? And say, I really want to explore this on a deeper level. It can feel risky to really stand up for your worth, right? So risk over there, and it's coinciding with this risk over here. And it's like, when we step into that energy in one part of our lives, like, we're in that frequency. And so whatever else is attached to us is also, like, we're also opening up that frequency over here. And it's like, through that risk, and seeing how it pays off, because you will see how it pays off when it's taking a risk that is really in alignment with your soul. Like, your gut, your soul, your heart is like, yes, I know I need to do this. What's the thing I've been avoiding doing, saying, owning, right? And it's been within you. It's like this little kernel. It's been within you, right? And so that actually is going to open up the energy, and they're just showing freedom, liberation, which allows you to see clearly. It gives you the confidence to take the risk over here, because that's actually what has to happen within the business, which is why you're feeling so stuck. There's a risk that has to be taken, and you're either not seeing it or you are overthinking it, right? So you're either not seeing it as an option because you've already decided in your head it's not an option, or you are overlooking it. Like, so you're either overlooking it, or you're looking at it and saying, no, I can't do that, because you're still stuck in logic and you're not fully confident in doing that. It feels like such a big pivot, and it's going through that in your personal life that's going to give you the confidence and show you like the payoff that's actually going to make this risk seem like a no-brainer. Like, yeah, it's like you're riding this high, you have this momentum, and it's like, yeah, we're doing over here, because really what has to happen is disruption. There is a pivot there, and that could look like a big expansion in a way you didn't expect. It feels like there's stuff bubbling up that you're realizing just isn't working, and however that's manifesting, like, you're gonna realize we have to change. And like, there's oh man, it's going to be tough because your ego is so attached to it. You're like, I've worked so hard on building this thing. And in your head, your brain is telling you, I can't just change it all. I can't just get rid of all this. I can't just make this huge move. I can't just like put all my eggs over in this other basket. And it's like you're being protected and you're being guided to exactly what you want. And it might be in a way that doesn't make sense. But, you know, we're not going to get anywhere if we just keep thinking about it. And until we do something about it. And this is where people get stuck all the time. So especially entrepreneurs, it's like you spend so much time acknowledging what's not working. And when are you actually going to say, well, what has to change? What are going to be the steps I take to get from here to there? And like, am I going to wait for those to happen? Am I going to wait for someone else to do it? Or am I going to do it? It's like, just freaking do it, you know? And it's going to feel like a disruption in your life. But disruption isn't always a negative thing. It's a positive thing. It's a timeline hop. It's like, oh shit, I just took this big leap and then I literally just jumped timelines. And that's where the thing that I felt like was so far away. And I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get from here to there? I can get there tomorrow, but there's a big choice, right? And so that's the risk and disruption energy. It really feels like you're going to disrupt the way that you've done things within the business, whether that's how you relate to it, whether it is some of you are going to want to sell the business or release it or make some big shifts in hiring or really make some outsources. There could be a shift in niche or demographic. Like there's something bubbling up or something creative within you that you're like, I really want to explore this. And so how can we make this work? And so how can we orient? This is really the question. How can you orient from, I know that this is my soul is like, yes. And let's operate from a solution mindset rather than is it gonna work? It's like I've decided it has to work, so how can we make this happen? Like let's collaborate and make this happen. And it's like this creative thing within you that's been bubbling, this idea or this desire, and you've been like nervous or felt like that was gonna be too much or how is this gonna affect everybody else. Oh, you're just keeping yourself stuck. You're just keeping yourself stuck. You're just like creating your own torture. It's like, just do it. Get clear on the vision and where you want to be. And like, what are the drastic things that like maybe drastic actions you're going to take. And if you are living in this mindset that everything has to be this long drawn out process, it's like, does it really though? Or could you just decide to show up differently tomorrow? So there's going to be a big pivot, and what's happening in your personal life is actually preparing you to feel stabilized, because that's also part of it. It's like experiencing how things can go well when you take the risk, getting in that energy so there's momentum that can get directed to the business in a positive way. There's that, but also for this big shift, your personal life has to feel like stabilized and the foundation has to be stronger. You won't feel fully safe to take that leap, to do that thing, to go bigger, because that's what it really is. It's going bigger. Whether or not you perceive it to be that way, it is going bigger. And so it's like your foundation has to feel good over here. So if stuff, personal life is feeling wonky, like it's just the energy, it's like trying to build on a shaky foundation, you know? The mystery card is all about allowing the universe to work in ways that are bigger than our mind can perceive, and just trusting that things happen in divine timing. And it's one of those things that you look back, 5 years later and you're like, oh, I see how that all had to play out. But when I was in the middle of it, I didn't see how that was going to work out, or it made no sense to me. And you're going to be like, yeah, holy shit, I made a quantum leap like overnight. But I never could have made logical sense of that or planned to get there. And so it's really just like surrendering to the divine, surrendering to your higher self, and surrendering to the larger plan, and that there, are things that can come into reality that you can't plan for. And they're better than what you ever wanted. This owl card, this deception and this wisdom, what do you want to say about this specifically? This is about, they're saying, where are you deceiving yourself? And that's the clarity for the risk. What risk you need to take. It's like, where are you deceiving yourself? This card can also be around, is there somebody around you that isn't telling you the whole truth? And so there's this opening for communication. Like the communication has to be really open in your personal life right now. So what are the truths that haven't been spoken? And that's holding you back. Like the energy is just kind of like, closed off, and we have to like open our energy really to like be able to receive our manifestations, to receive in general, and for all the stuff in your business to open up. Noticing like, where are you deceiving yourself and lying to yourself about what you really want, how you really feel, what needs to be changed, what are you afraid to let go of, like where are you keeping yourself in illusions? But also, you know, on the other side of that, are there people in your reality where you know, it doesn't feel like an ill intention, like I'm deceiving you kind of thing. I mean, for some people it might be. It just feels more like we can only go so far. And like there's like a gap in the level of comfort. And so there are certain dynamics that need to be spoken about, that need to rise to the surface, right? Like just let's lay it all out on the table. And that doesn't have to be negative necessarily. It's just like, where are we scared? Where are we afraid to be vulnerable? Where are we nervous about judgment or rejection, right? But if they're really for you, if these people are really for you, or person, whoever it is, when you're fully honest and just authentic, like if they're for you, they're going to receive it well, you know? And so you can only see the truth if you put it out there. So to see the truth of what is, you're going to have to like basically show all of your cards, you know, and it's from this that you're gaining more wisdom. The more you really, isn't it funny how it can feel like a risk to be all of ourselves with people that we care about? So just noticing like, where is the energy blocked? Like, where are we not being fully honest with how we're feeling or what we want, or what's not working, what's not feeling good for us? And that's, you know, takes two to tango. It's a two-way street, but like, you can't control other people, you can't control yourself. And if you're setting the caliber for that level of communication, right? If you're setting the standard of like, this is how I show up here, and this is what I need in this relationship, and I don't like any of this, like, we're not talking about it. And honestly, it feels like that when you talk about it, like, there are going to be some things that you're realizing, like, this person just can't meet me here at this level of authenticity or this depth of communication. But honestly, it feels more like we're going to get out of illusions, and where you thought that somebody was going to reject you or somebody was going to like not take it well, they're actually relieved. Like there's a sense of relief. There's a sense of relief. And this is where a lot of the wisdom comes of like, I've just created all of these stories in my head about how things are going to go negatively. And from that wisdom is where you're realizing, where am I also doing that in my business? Like just becoming aware of where we make up all of these stories in our heads about how things are going to go wrong, or how it's not going to work out, or we're immediately jumping to, but what if this isn't received well? What if it doesn't work? And what if we start anchoring into, but what if it goes right? What if we start assuming actually the best instead of assuming the worst? And that's going to inform a lot of this shift in how you operate within the business, how your relationship with the business, the decisions that you make. And that's a lot of the disruption and risk energy. It's like when you come to that wisdom through really how you're opening up in your personal life, now you're like, that's more confidence for this risk in the business, because you're like, you've shifted the energy and the perception to be more, but I'm going to assume this is going right. Right. And so it's like this intuition, this intuitive thing within you, you're going to play out in your personal life where you're just fully honest and you're opening up the communication, and you're like, I'm not doing any of this sliding things under the rug, or I'm not doing any of this like hiding how I really feel thing anymore. And you're going to see how that goes so well. And you're going to be like, I need to stop doing this everywhere. Where am I just assuming people aren't going to receive this well? Right? Where am I assuming that? And when you get that confidence, you're like, great. Well, in my business, like I should have listened to my intuition over there in my personal life. And now I learned that it was right and I should have followed it because it's leading me to amazing things. And so now I have the confidence to follow my intuition over my business. And so it doesn't actually feel as disruptive. It's a good disruption. It feels like, whoa, that was a big change. And I found freedom and liberation within that. So, exciting things. If this was helpful, leave a comment below and let me know what's showing up for you. And if you have an entrepreneur friend who you think this would resonate with, send them the link, because there's probably a message in here for them as well. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy it. And if you do like these daily energy updates, I post these regularly in my membership, the Channel Collective, which is an all-encompassing membership for daily energetic spiritual work. And I like to, I record these and then I go back and listen to them for myself. Get my messages in there, my daily dose of guidance, of wisdom, because I get just as much out of these as y'all do. What a fun job. So that's going to be it for today. Happy April. I'm very excited to see all of your big risk taking. Expect the best. I'll see you in a future video.